So when we get started, tell me tickers you guys want to see. I'm going to go through the biggies, so you don't need to ask for those. CMG is on the table. NPH is on the table. We'll look at Visa, maybe American Express. AMD, okay. Diagonals should definitely pay. Yeah, I forgot what it was. 290, 295. Yeah, it definitely pays. It was suboptimal that we did a calendar or a diagonal, that it would be better to buy a call outright. Mine is at 300. I went cheap last minute. Diagonal was better. All right, let's make a list. And we're live. Let's make a list. So we're going to go through Google, Microsoft, Apple, of course, as a reaction. Actually, Amazon more interesting than Apple for some reason. Who else? Meta coming up next. So we'll do Meta, then Amazon, then Apple. First, the indices. SPY, QQQ, NPH because it reported. We'll look at Visa, AXP, CMG that reported. Who else? AMD. Why not look at NVDA? Intel is coming up. Yeah, good morning. Tell me your tickers. BA, correct. Who else reported this morning? I'll go find out. RBLX? We'll do RBLX. Tomorrow's Roku, ServiceNow, Humana, Tech Resources, I don't care. Maybe American Airlines, Caterpillar. CAT, AAPL. We'll do, don't want to do the Exxon, Chevron. That's a good start, right? So let me go tweet that. Okay, let's see what else we can do. I'm going to put this here and we'll add to it. Remind me it's in the SPY. We'll add Roblox. Who else? American Tower or whatever. Okay. Okay, so these are the tickers. All right, let's do this. Take these lines out. All right, so yesterday, let's get started. Yesterday we had a red day, a legit red day all around. The VIX looked like it was exploding plus 20% or whatever it was, but really was it? It wasn't. It was just too low. We addressed it. We've been saying buy VIX. Luis, I hear you. Buy VIX when it's cheap. So it wasn't to trade the VIX. It was just to sleep well, knowing that you're protected. Your assets are protected. Not everybody needs protection, but those who had assets, that's how you sleep well. Knowing that you have something working for you in case the floor falls out. All right, so we are back into a prior bounce area. You can look left. This is the S&P. So we have a bounce zone, and we also have a pattern that suggests a bounce up. So I said available this morning, but you need it, because if you don't, you're going to slip lower. And there is a weak spot down here, 398-ish. This is why I get upset when they take off and don't look back. We leave weak points that are easy to get to. And it looks visually about 10 points. That is perfect. So this head and shoulder-ish pattern that is forming right now, its target would be that. Nice and neat. So I added here, go long. If we fall to here, I will go long in size. So good morning. Thank you for being here. I will go long in size means I take a bet and I hedge my bet. So if I spend $1,000 to buy calls, I'm making that up. I will spend a couple of hundred to buy puts to protect myself. The calls will be longer dated. The puts will be shorter dated. This way, if things go sour, I make money protected. I get protected quicker than I'm losing. So technically, we do have a bounce available, but we need to have it come to fruition. Now, I don't like the fact that we're popping on the back of one stock. It's great that that one stock is popping, which is Microsoft. We suggested going long because I heard, simple reason, I heard that Kramer was worried about Microsoft, so we went long. Anyway, those who took the diagonal should have greens. It's not ideal that we took a diagonal. I said buy a call out in time, sell a call for this week because the implied volatility was higher. So they should have greens. The maximum profit on that one is, I believe, 70% if you took a diagonal. If you bought a call at 290, for example, and you sold a call at 295, you have a $5 differential, and if you paid 300 to get into it, you have 200 of upside. Anyway, it is a good setup. It's suboptimal that somebody went with a spread, but that was the right thing to do at the time. I also want to make a comment that I'm seeing a lot of strength in crypto overnight. Again, the crypto crap is catching a bid, which makes me believe that fear is not crippling yet, because they wouldn't touch this crap. All right, so what about Microsoft? This is not an obvious entry point for Microsoft. I am long. This looks like an inverse head and shoulders here. This is the neckline. Look, prior fail, couldn't recover it. Now they're back at it and above it. Prove to me first that you can close above that, comfortably above 295. Hi, Shannon. And prove to me that you can establish it as a base to get to 310, then I believe you on the breakout. And even then, if you look left, 315 is major prior failing. So not an easy starting point. We'll add CRM. Not an easy starting point at all. So be careful how you chase it. If somebody is buying Microsoft now, all right, so this is, so you'd know this is what's coming down the pipe, and I will add CRM to it. CRM. So this is what we have. I put a sign on the door. Let's see if they respect it. Okay. All right, so we said SPY, we jumped straight into Microsoft. I should go back to the Qs. So the QQQ clearly is doing better this morning. They're the one market that's up almost 1%. That's on the back of one stock. I don't like it. So I read the reports. Single-digit growth on both of them, Google and Microsoft. So that's a problem for me. Now, Microsoft delivered profits up 10%, I think, or 7 or 8%. So they grew profits relative to last year. I don't care about estimates. Google did shrunk in profits, which is fine. So they both did well in this bad environment. So if Amazon delivers a similar report, I will breathe a sigh of relief. That's my concern. Okay? What Amazon will say in a couple of days, because it touches the consumer spending directly. Google indirectly, Microsoft indirectly. Amazon, I think it touches the consumer spending, and consumer spending is 2/3 of the economy in the US. So regardless of what the GDP tells me, if Amazon tells me sales are off a cliff, then I believe that the economy is in dire straits and the government is lying about their reports or mistaken. Okay, so we did that. So let's go into Google. So I definitely would not chase this sucker, and look at this reaction. So now what do we have? We have a box from the earnings reaction overnight. So I will draw a box around it. We'll go to here, and I will say earnings reaction. This way I will know for the next couple of months where the extremes are, or at least a couple of weeks. This was an extreme, this was an extreme knee-jerk reaction, and this was the downside target for me. Close enough, I guess. Maybe it'll bleed lower here. We'll see. And then if you lose this, you might go even further lower. So if I take these out, this W has a target. Look at that, perfect. Target 1 was right here. It was met. Target 2 is right here. I would think when it gets to 99, I would be pretty interested. I have an alert here, an alert here, an alert here. I will act on these alerts. I wouldn't chase it. I want to see what happens as a market. So if the markets are higher in the future, both of these companies will be much higher. And if Google takes out 110, it's going to take off. I don't want to jinx it, but I should put an alert there. Above earnings spike. That's an important note to know that they're off to the races. All right. So next we have Microsoft, which I jumped the gun. I did it first. This is not an obvious entry for Microsoft. If you are long, enjoy it. I am long. The gang is long. At least I suggested going long first with a naked call. And then I said you can leverage the fact that the implied volatility for this week is pretty high. I would sell a call against that. So I did that. Kind of ruins the trade a little bit. It puts a cap on the profits, but I'm never upset about caps. If I took a diagonal, it's easier to manage on a calendar. Okay, the calendar will have profits early. So diagonal, you can sit in it and it matures over time, but the calendar, you have to book it well before the expiration. So be careful managing that calendar. There should be a little bit of lag, Luis. There should be. I try to minimize it to 3 seconds, but that's the best I can do. Okay, Meta. What you should do is, actually I'm muted from the live room. You're getting no lag. That's insane. All right. Well, there's a little win. I know you had a tough day yesterday, Luis. High five. Meta. I'm afraid of Meta, and I'm excited about Meta. So I'll tell you why I'm afraid. Because it's been rallying like mad. If we go on a daily, this is a daily, which I rarely look at. It's like somebody knows something. And if I remember correctly, the last 2 quarters they were shrinking in sales. That is really concerning to me, but it seems like Wall Street doesn't care. The other concern is that it's running into a prior fail. So this should be, all of it should be resistance. So the secondary comment is that I have a lot of crypto companies that are metaverse related, and their coins are usually crap, and they have gained a lot in the last couple of weeks. They're getting bid. So maybe they have a message finally that's positive about the metaverse. You know, Facebook changed its name to Metaverse basically, and dedicated its future, put its future on the line on Metaverse. And they've been struggling and they've been spending to make it happen. What if they have a milestone to share? What if they say, oh, check this out, version 1 of our meta world? Why would these other companies be rallying? How would they know? I'm pretty sure they go to metaverse conventions and they know each other and whispers. And the coders at Facebook know these coders at other places. Some of them are probably working under the table for them. Interesting. So anyway, I don't want to short it, but if I'm long, I would want to lock profits. If I own shares, I would sell covered calls. If I own calls that are winning, I would sell covered calls at the risk of messing a trade up. All right, so the one that concerns me I mentioned is Amazon. I'm going in order. You can see the list in the chat. Amazon on a daily looks like it has a wall right there. So the only way I can see above that is on a headline, and I'm not sure it's going to have fantastic earnings that it's going to blow through the headline. So maybe they're going to blow the top off of the earnings, not the sales, the earnings. I've seen this happen at least once in Amazon back in the day when it used to be nitpicked against for spending too much and thin margins. For 1 quarter, Bezos said, all right, you guys are all going to shut up and I'm going to deliver earnings like you wouldn't believe, and delivered a profitable quarter out of nowhere, and the stock just rocketed. So maybe they do that. Sales should be soft. How soft? I don't know. Imagine a red comp sales from Amazon. It's never happened while it's public. If they come out red, the market's not going to like it. I won't like it, and I'd be very concerned. But their message, what would they say going forward? Will they say, oh, this is a one-off, we see things turning around already in the last couple of weeks of the quarter? Or would they say, it looks like it's going to be tough for the next 6 months, so we're hunkering down and tightening our belts? If they say the second one, it's going to be scary for the market. So I don't have a bet on Amazon. I will make a bet the night of. If you're in the live room, we will look at the options and guess. You know, we guessed up on Microsoft based on the options data, and a little bit of help from Kramer's inverse Kramer sentiment. All right. So how will Apple react, or how is Apple reacting today? I think Apple is down a little bit. No? Yeah, flat. So there's nothing wrong with Apple. Somebody said, can we infer this or that? There was some news on some headlines. I forgot what it was. Verizon reported, and they said the upgrade cycle was lagging, and they said, Apple. Like every time somebody tries to read into Apple sales, they're wrong. Apple, nothing wrong with the Apple sales line. And when the Apple sales line gets in trouble, we should all worry. So this is where you make a bet based on your portfolio. If you're long a whole bunch of stuff, you don't want to add along to Apple on earnings. If you see this, there is a clear channel. They are buying dips, are they not? You have a channel of higher lows and higher highs for this period of time. So the mode of operation here is buy the dip whenever they come. So this was a dip that was bought. Let's take out whatever is in here. Dip bought, dip bought, dip bought. So they were dipping. Let's see where they buy it. Most likely inside this. So anything below 162 should find footing. And definitely at 158 should find footing. I have an alert here. Look, this right here probably matches up with the SPY weakness. Right on. Welcome, Mimi. I started this by looking at the SPY, and I told you there's weakness at 398. This is probably where it's at. So it wouldn't be too surprising if we have a bad reaction this week or next week to rate hikes from Fed and fall to SPY 398. And if we do, I think it'll be an opportunity to go long. At the time, people are going to be freaking out. You're going to hear some people scaring you. Now, all this is based on Amazon's earnings. If Amazon gives me a boring report, that's great. That's all I want. Now, above 168, Apple goes to 174. So this will issue a trigger up to here because they're in an ascending channel. Don't fight the trend. Isn't that what they say? Well, that's the freaking trend. Stop fighting it until it changes. All right. If you scroll up, you'll see which tickers we're doing. I'm going to post them right here so I can keep track of them visually. I'm using that as my template, and I'll put it in the video to index the video. Next one is NPH. Now, I feel pretty proud about NPH because we traded it perfectly. Let me show you here. NPH. Let's go to 1 day. So traded a couple of times, and of late I've had people saying, isn't it time to go long? Isn't it? I said no, I think it's still in a descending trend and it might go to 170. That was my target. See, it says target. It's been here for a bit. Look at where it's at. So now I would start looking to go long. I haven't read the earnings. I'm going to assume they did okay. I'm going to assume they probably guided soft. You guys would let me know if I'm wrong. If that's the case, this is where I would start looking to go long using a put spread, sold put spread. You can buy calls, but look at it. I mean, it's rallied a lot, and now they're down here. This zone for support is wide, so I can't tell you this is a hard line in the sand, but it is a buyable dip. Depends on how you buy dips. If you're looking to buy shares, I would take a small position. If you're looking to buy calls, I would hesitate. Even though calls are cheap, I don't know why you would bounce here, but I don't want to keep you out of it. The best way to catch a falling knife like this is by selling a put spread or selling puts to own shares. Let's say I'm looking to buy shares at 180. Why not get paid to buy shares at 150? That would be what is selling a put. I don't want to mention a specific trade here. This is not a trade alert service right in here. This is, we're just looking at charts. I can tell you one thing, a rally to 200 will be met with selling. So you have to respect that. If they lose this emphatically, they will go to 150. That's why I mentioned 150. Look at the support is much better down here. So don't pile in. You can sell a put on a day like today because the stock is down 15% or whatever. The puts will have a lot of premium. Even if it falls a little bit more the next couple of days, it'll be trickling down. The puts will get deflated and you make money just from that fact. But as a trade, I'm not plunging in, but it's on the watch list. Visa. Looks like it's a reaction. It's up 1%. It's already elevated. So not for me. I didn't learn anything new. It's too high before the earnings. It's still too high now. I would imagine MasterCard is the same. So if you bought calls, you're probably losing money, especially for this week. If you don't know why that is, you can join the group. I'll explain it during the live session. Yes, we have people live. They're piling in, but they see me not there. They come here to join. Let's see here. 1 minute. We added RBLX. RBLX. I'm going to tweet it again to get more people in here. 1 minute. AMT and CRM. Oh, duplicate message 60 minutes apart. It's not duplicate message. Whatever. Maybe I won't use you anymore. Okay, so Visa, I'm not in love with it. American Express and Visa already reported. MasterCard reports later on Friday. MasterCard has a similar chart. I wouldn't go long. I mean, I don't have any. They're both high. I would rather them on a low. Like between this and buying a firm way down there, I know they're not exactly the same, but they're both transactors of sorts. I would go with a firm. I guess I mentioned AXP. Let's look at that. AXP is struggling compared to its friends, and it's in the middle of the range. So low, high, somewhere in the middle lies the truth. I think the closer to 152 it is, the better the support. You could force me to go long American Express via sold put spread, or sold put if somebody wants to own shares. Buying shares maybe for the super long term as an investment, not all in. Buying calls, if the market rallies, you make money. Okay, Chipotle. Please don't short Chipotle. Please don't short Chipotle. Up, right? That's the reaction. 7%. This company grew sales during the pandemic when the world shut down. Do not short this stock. Very thin in the options world, and looks like the bulls are in charge. They're breaking out from a prior fail. If they stay above 1750 this week, and they make a higher high than this morning, they're probably going to go to 1960 and challenge this guy. I would not sell. Somebody was mentioning a credit call spread. It's tempting to do it, but I'm telling you, Bill, you will lose money. This is a beast. It's expensive as a restaurant, but it's a beast. It grows its sales like crazy. It used to. I haven't looked at it recently. So this is annual sales statement. Look at the sales growth in this company. Gross profit keeps getting better. It's a very efficient company. You go in and get out. Look at these restaurants, 20% growth, 17% growth. That's crazy. During the pandemic, let me see, can you see the pandemic blip? You can't even see the pandemic sales drop. 2019, 5.6, almost 6 billion in 2020. They didn't even drop in sales. That's insane. Look at this. What are you shorting? Success? It's crazy. Yeah, and price to sales is 5.8. It's not that much for a growth company. PE, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. Yeah, we can compare it to McDonald's, where, let's see, McDonald's, more financials, statements, annual. McDonald's shrinks and grows and shrinks and grows. And let's see here, statistically. This one is twice as expensive as CMG. What? But it's 31. Yeah, but it's price to sales. So if you're buying a stock in McDonald's, you're giving it almost 10 years worth of credit in sales. The other one, 5-ish. So CMG is cheaper if you consider the sales growth than McDonald's. What did you say about McDonald's? Credit put spread? Somebody asked something about McDonald's. Yes? Well, I'll answer if you hit the like button if you haven't done it yet. Let me see here. So how come, listen, just do it. I'm not going to go any further. I'm tired. I need some love. Let's beat the other guys. The last one we did, they had a bazillion, 150 likes or something. We're at 44. We're running out of time. Issue a challenge. Okay, I just needed a breather, so I'm taking that excuse, but no, seriously. This is how we trend on YouTube, and the community grows, and we'll make this a thing. All right, where were we? McDonald's. Not for me compared to CMG. CMG, credit call spread, no. This is no trade for me on McDonald's. It's too high. I don't have any reference that are recent to short it, so I'll just leave it alone. Okay, BA also reported, I believe. Was it boring? It should be boring. It's up 2%. That's not bad. Let's see if we can get to a weekly to see where it's at. All right, so here's the danger for the bulls, the bears. If it goes above this orange line, technically above 230, I think 220, 224 will do it. 225. It could gather momentum and hit 260. It's not reason enough for me to buy calls, but I'm conscious of it. So if you're looking to short it, be careful. For the longest time, I've been saying iron condors worked, iron condors worked. That box is full of iron condors. And I'm not so sure I would want to do that anymore. It's too coiled. This is a weekly chart. It's too coiled. And this looks like an inverse head and shoulder. So if the market takes a burst, this one could really fly. Not reason enough to just buy calls, especially not going into that. But reason enough to respect the weekly coil. Now, look at how it is. Higher lows, lower highs, coming to a pinpoint. Do they have enough to take out 2015? If they take out 2015, they have a legit chance of taking out 2019, which I believe will get them going. So 215, 219, 215, 219. As long as you maintain higher lows. Now, this looks like a head and shoulders here. If you lose 198, you could lose these two and come down to 188. That's why I have the alert down here. So I only want to trade the extremes, when it breaks out and when it breaks down. If it comes down to here, I'll go long via credit put spread or sold put. The company has guaranteed sales from all the airlines, but we saw what happened to the airline demand during the pandemic. We don't know what we don't know, and we could just fall apart in no time. So stay guarded. Don't jump the gun on anything. Respect the risk that we have. I'm going to repaste the tickers so I can see them in front of me. All right. AMD, somebody asked earlier. Whoops. Wrong window. Why is my phone going to sleep? Wake up. If you remember, you know that I've been concerned about the risk that hi Billy, the risk that NVIDIA posed on the market, and it was too high. And if it fell, I thought, who would it take with it? The entire SMH. And if the SMH falls, we'll take the QQQ. They didn't quite collapse, but they're struggling. But here's the thing. Now, AMD is falling into near-term support. This is a daily chart, so it's pretty slow. Through 77, 78, it has buyers. What if it curls, comes back, and takes this out? If it takes 103 out, I think it goes to 120, 125. The neckline has been there for a while. I have to say it. The 104, 108 area has been killer for a long, long time. And if you go to a weekly, you will see how that was the area that they couldn't, this one right there, there was a weekly neckline that caused this debacle. Same as NVIDIA. You've heard me say it 100 times. We have buyers into 80, and we have a challenge at 103. Take out 103, you go to 120, 125, but that is not going to be easy. So you're going to have to be patient and nibble. It's worth a long the closer it comes down to 80. And there's a weak point right here, just like all of them. So if the S&P goes to 398, I think you'll have the opportunity to trade this in the 70s again. So don't go all in. For example, if you buy shares, holiday, that's cool. If you buy shares, hold on. Holiday, jump into the YouTube. You can leave room to add in case it goes down. Hi, Lou. Okay, since we talked about AMD, we'll talk about NVIDIA as well. This is the one that's too high for my blood. And see that red thing? These are called harmonics. I don't know how to draw them, but I use them flawlessly. Target 1 is 220, 219. Target 2 is 180. So let's just talk about target 1. It would plug this weak point in the stock. So there are buyers below 230. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this one bounce and fail to take out 282 and drift lower. Better buyers below 240. Now, in the event they take this out, ooh-wee, look at this death candle right there, around 287. What? Look at this one. You take out 287, 330? That's crazy. I should put an alert. I should put an alert. So be careful with that. Shorting it too tightly, I mean, this is insanity, but we've seen what Meta did. I don't want to short it, but I definitely don't want to go long here. When does it report? May 24th. Has AMD reported? May 2nd. Ooh, okay. So here's the deal. I would trade NVIDIA stock on AMD's earnings. So if you want to bet up or down in NVIDIA, I would use AMD. You use the NVIDIA longer dated calls or puts to bet that, because it will move in sympathy. And the good thing is it won't move as big, but it will move just impressive. And if you pick one way and the stock goes the other way on AMD, your premiums will get destroyed. In NVIDIA, you will lose, but it will not get destroyed because its event is out in time. So it will hold premium better. Intel this week, I think, Friday or Thursday night, maybe Friday morning. So Intel's going into a support zone on a daily basis, 28. So if you think from here to here, that looks like 50%, just about. So it's given up a lot of the greens. That's great. I will not trade Intel ever again until they have new management. Maybe they do already. This zone, that's an important box, so they should have buyers in this zone. So if I haven't closed out of my longs, that's not where I would bail. I don't like their message. In their last earnings report, their message was horrendous. And I said, I'm out. Maybe now they changed their tune. It couldn't have been worse, the message in the last earnings. It could not have been worse. Okay. Now, CAT earnings are coming as well. It's been active in the room. Ryan, I think, got you all in a winning trade from down here somewhere. This was my path. Look at what they're doing. They dipped, so they're right here in my path. Maybe they curl up. So this looks like a pretty nice head and shoulders. So if not here, it might be here. Okay, so be open to both. I'm not changing my mind because, you know, it did the first thing we thought we would do, come down to here, and it did that, and it's bounced. And now that it's here, I think it could curl up. But so I don't have a tell. If you consider this extension, they're right in the middle. A couple of red ticks and Caterpillar will come down to here, and it would be a better long. Okay, let's take out the lines. I'll go to a daily and look at it from big picture. If for whatever reason Caterpillar loses 209, 208, it probably comes down to 185. Now I have to warn you. First of all, what the hell? I have to warn you. If the story in the world is bad, then this one should lose footing, and it would make a better entry. I have my alerts down there. One time, I remember years ago, Caterpillar reported earnings, and the report was fine. They met expectations, and the stock spiked 5-10%, whatever it was. And then the CFO said something, one sentence, something along the lines, "Hey, David, we have hit the high water mark." And the stock fell 25% and took the market with it. Okay, that wasn't too long ago. So be careful with Caterpillar. How could the story be positive? If the whole world is shit, how could it be positive? If we're going to acute recession, a mild recession, how could Caterpillar machines be flying off the shelf? So it's not logical. So it is possible that they come out with a horrendous story. And the expectations are high for this company, always. So be careful with that. I won't trade it going into earnings. I would look at the options to guess which way it goes, and we're usually pretty good at that. 54 likes. I've been talking for 15 minutes. I had 8 likes. Come on, people. Help me out. Okay. I feel like a teenager asking for likes. Don't make me beg now. Don't make me dance on camera. I won't do it. American Airlines. This looks like a solid support level. Now, technically, if you lose this level, you can come down to 1050. Thank you. 1050 or 10, but under what conditions? Does it have earnings? It looks like it have earnings coming up. Yes. I don't trade them into earnings. But if you are a member, just come to me the day before they report or the night of, and we will look at the options, and there are usually a lot of clues in the options. So, no, I'm not going to do it. I would need to get prepared for it. I would need a few lessons first. I will do it, but not today. So, that's funny. Set me up. I set myself up. What are we looking at? The flustered. So rallies into 1340 will find sellers. Into 1360, 1370 will find sellers. Clear 1370, maybe get to 1420. It's not going to be easy. And look how easy it is to lose footing. Hi, Dina. Do it, Trotter says. Do it. SOFI. Devander will add SOFI at the end, sure. So this is, let me do this right now before I forget. Where is it? We just had them. No? Okay. Dang it. Nope, that's not it. I'm trying to get all the tickers we did and adding SOFI to it. There we go. Okay. So now this is the running list. We've gone through Caterpillar, AAL, now Exxon, my favorite stock on the planet. Exxon, no, it's not my favorite. And Chevron. So they're going into earnings on Friday. You know how much I love oil stocks. Yes, I love them. No, I don't. I actually do like oil stocks, but not up here. I have no idea why Exxon is an all-time high, other than the price of oil is high. So that's the risk. I don't want to buy a stock going into its prior fail and hoping that oil prices will spike higher. If oil prices are too high right now, then Amazon stock is too high. You be the judge. Okay? You be the judge. For me, I'm not a buyer of Exxon stock, but dividends, there are plenty of better dividend plays than this one. Only pays 3%. Verizon pays 7%, and Verizon is at support, and it makes stable cash. Same with this one, except Verizon's income does not depend on one thing, price of one thing that they don't control. Verizon's income depends on Verizon's prices, and it sets its own prices. This guy doesn't. Same for Chevron. If you remember, you saw that we shorted Chevron responsibly, and we won. I'm not redoing the short. Why is Chevron lagging Exxon? Why is Exxon more vulnerable? Higher. So be careful. I don't want to short this guy because Exxon looks like a breakout, and if it breaks out, this one's going to come to here. I would want to short the other one with a stop because why is it so high? But I'm not doing either. They're going into earnings. We will look at the options to see if we can get some clues from Chevron and Exxon. Roblox. I don't trade this stock anymore in the day report or going into earnings. Okay, so if you remember, remind me later today or tomorrow, whenever they report, to look at the options. I bet you it has pretty good liquidity in options. It could drift to 32. It's better closer to 32, 33 than 37. And of course, earnings could make it spike. If they clear 48, they go to 56 or 60. That's a big if. Big if. But look at it. Complex head and shoulders. Two shoulders, head, one shoulder done. They might be drawing the second shoulder. So if you want to put it simply, just put a line here. There you go. I have a line. That's the arrow. This will take off. How high? Let's just leave it there. Technically, it's this high, but I wouldn't do that. 19 points from here, so 38 up to 65, but don't do that. Look left. Yeah, resistance everywhere. Gap fill here. So the big picture is you can have a good hope and just treat it like hopium, okay? 100 likes. All right, you're pretty far. I don't think you have it in you. Challenge issued. Let's go. AMT somebody asked for this morning. These are stocks that you guys asked for. We have 74 people over there in the live room. Why don't you come over? Which live room? Let me see here. Do I have a picture of the live room? Can I show you a picture? Live chat. Yeah, I can. This room, it has 300 people when we're done. When we are in the middle of the day. 300, we go up to 340 people. So if you're new to us, that's what we do. We chat all day. We trade actively, and we also trade slowly. Okay, Steve, I see you. But I see 74 over there, and I only see... Oh, I see now. I see. I was looking at the wrong number. All right. American Tower Corporation. That is a dividend play as well, if I remember correctly. No? Almost 3%. This stock is just like the one before it. Just like Roblox. It's in the middle of it's dipping, but it's falling into the halfway mark of a rally. So now the challenge is, what happens on the bounce? So short term, you have sellers into 207. If I would put a line of resistance 207, okay, so this should be resistance right here. Support scattered. Look at these holes though. That's weak. The scattered support is between 199 and 194-ish. I don't know if it has earnings. Oh, it does. Did it report? It reported. Oh, good. So the earnings are out of the way. You can trade it without fearing repercussions there. I got you. Thank you. Yeah, I see it now. CRM. I don't think there's anything to be done with CRM. Wow, the last couple of days it fell apart. Last time I looked at it was just a couple of days ago. It was up here. Okay, so let's zoom out and see. You see how this is still way too high, like NVIDIA? Okay, it looks like it fell. Oh my gosh, it just fell 5%. Yeah, but after a 1 billion% rally, a 60% rally almost. What is this mess here? The closer to 180, the better. I don't know if it'll get to 180. It needs to hold this zone in order to legitimize the breakout from here. And if it does, then it's going to 220. Gut says it falls to 180, maybe even lower, comes back, takes 200 out, and goes to 225. That's the best path that you can hope for as a bull. For it to do this, come back out, struggle somehow, and if the market helps it, then it comes back to the breakout zone and takes that out. This is your best bet. If the market takes off from here, what is he talking about? There is that possibility. But nobody's talking about it. It all depends on Amazon, I think. A lot depends on Amazon. What, this one reports tonight? Doesn't look like it. C. Okay. Citigroup? No. Oh, now. Okay. Let's do this. SOFI next. I'm running through the list as it was ordered from the morning, from the start. All right. SOFI stuck in a rut. I closed. My longs paid. I could renew my longs, especially on a bad day. I sold puts to own shares, and I shared it with you. I don't have... I think it's better to buy shares than calls. This way, the time element is out. So, depends on how you trade. If I wanted to buy shares, I chose to sell puts instead of buying shares. They didn't assign me the puts. I could renew it, but not into earnings, because I don't know how markets are going to behave. This is a crazy market. So if you wanted to nibble into the earnings, just buy a few shares. And if it takes off, you're in. And if it doesn't, then you only have a few shares, and you can add as much as you want in order to get into a full-size position with more information after the fact. I can delete this. You see how they're stuck in a pretty wide zone. This stock has paid us quite a few times. All right, so let's see here. We have these guys, and now you're telling me you want GoPro and IWM. Are you asking for now, like ServiceNow? GPRO and IWM. I can answer those blindly, by the way. I'm going to post them in here for reference so I can copy them and paste them later. ServiceNow. if they report tonight, it's tomorrow's open is going to be questionable based on. Let me see if I can give you some information based on the options now. The options could change today based on the action today, but as of, there's not enough information. It is not very active in the options world on the weekly, so I will not give you information. I can tell you that maybe there's support and it's easier to rally, maybe. Now this red thing that you see in front of you, the target 1 has been met, target 2 is down here. So maybe it flashes down in the after hours to 428 and then stabilizes around 460, I'm not sure. So maybe it does something like this after hours when it reports after hours. And then it zigzag bounces and stops here after hours. Maybe. We'll see. Clearly you have a lot of resistance, you have a lot of support, you're somewhere in the middle. What's there to do? There's going to be sellers at 469 from a technical perspective. That's service now. No problem. BITO, I'll add BITO to the end. GoPro, I told people to buy shares part 1 or of 2 because every time I did it under 5 I made money. It was a lottery ticket basically, and it's falling apart. Earnings are coming. This stock has no recent support, which makes it impossible to say, okay, this is going to hold, or this is going to hold, or this is going to hold. It's in free fall, and the market is letting it go. So now it was a starter position, I believe my words were. And if that's the case, I do nothing. I only add when I'm like way lower, and only when I decide like it's worth it. If not, I take the loss on the little guy and move on. It's a good camera. It's a great camera. Maybe it gets bought out. Maybe somebody is walking it down in order to buy the company. We'll see. The product is excellent. I haven't used the new ones, but the old ones were great at the time. And the new ones look slicker. They have front-facing LCD panels and things. So no support from recent history, therefore you can't rely on it. It's just a matter of it finding a bid. Going into earnings, maybe it's a lottery ticket. I don't know. We'll see. I wouldn't buy calls. It's a $4 stock. Just buy shares. Okay, IWM looks like it has a bounce coming if they let it. And it could be to 174 and then 176. However, it's been trading like death. So respect the bears in this one. There is support through 68 and 69, 168 and 169. If you lose it, you go much, much lower. But that means that Amazon's message is horrific. This basket of stocks is fallen off a cliff. This is a basket of 2,000 stocks, and just in the last few days has had a 5% correction. It's a legit correction. Rallies into 176 will be met with sellers. To take out 178, 179, it's going to take a lot of work, or just a massive day or two. Next week, we have an emotional catalyst, potentially. I did SOFI, Devendra. I just did SOFI. Did I not? I did. We have a massive catalyst potential, which is the Fed's decision. I think it's early May on their next decision, but more importantly, what they say going forward. So we'll see what they say. I think Friday morning, Amazon is going to be a fantastic catalyst or not. Catalyst can be up or down. So I'm not saying it's going to be great. I'm saying it's going to be wild. And I'm very nervous about it. If you know me, I've already said it 100 times. We're 15 likes away from 100. We have like 14 minutes to get it done. I did not do Tesla. Let's see here. We're going to add BITO. If you don't know what BITO is, it's an ETF that tracks Bitcoin. We're long BITO from the very bottom. So it's a good thing, and it pays dividend apparently. I don't know, forever or what? We've been getting paid. Oh, you asked for GM? I thought you were saying good morning. Okay, so we only have 6 minutes. I'm told I need to sign off 10 minutes before the market opens. We have 6 minutes. Get me to 100. Come on, 92, 93, get me to 100. I'm pausing. I won't answer these. What an asshole. Hey, I just follow instructions. The instructions here say do this, I do that. Okay. So we talked IWM. We'll do BITO next. We're there. I'll give it to you. Thank you so much. Wow, what happened to crypto? See, when crypto bids, that means fear is not there. Later, Richard. No problem, Richard. Let's see here. If you break out of 1850, it's gone. That's a big if. It's resistance, but if it takes it out, it's gone. I'm still long. I'm not taking my longs out. I'm in it to win it. I think Bitcoin has a good chance of getting back to 42,000. Come on, do it, do it. Okay, so crypto is buy the dip opportunity. I'm not adding. I'm long enough, and I'm staying in it. So GM, don't they report soon? Or did they report? They reported. Well, that's a tepid response. Okay. I don't like it. It's in support, but if it blinks, it's going down to 26. Head and shoulder-ish pattern. It's not quite, but it's a neckline they've been fighting for a long time. So they do have support through 30.4. We're 102. Thank you. Ding, 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 ding. 30.4 is support. If you lose that support, you're gone. Technically, you're triggering the support right here at 32.6, but there's 4 strong daily candles at 31.5. 31.4 and $1 lower. So plenty of buyers. But if the market hiccups, gone. And there's going to be a lot of sellers into 36. The closer to 36 you are, the worse it's going to be. When we're done here, we're going to go into the live room where we do this all day. So if you're not a member, hit us up. Tesla. I don't know what they do. Dad jokes. I'm long. Tesla, I shared it in the live room. It's working so far. It has a few days on the clock, so I'm not changing it. There's a weakness in the chart in the low 50s, high 40s. So I wouldn't be surprised if the market hiccups, goes, and then it bounces. We'll see. If it ever loses the 102, it's going to 40. And then all the critics will know. Now, that's not my scenario. My scenario is it finds footing around 140 because the markets should find footing. If the markets collapse, all bets are off. All right, so we did Tesla. I think we're done. We have 2 more minutes if you want to slip one more ticker. GE. Let's see here. Ooh, okay, short GE. I'm short and losing money on GE. So we'll see what happens. Square. I would go long Square if it gets hit on somebody else's earnings, because I think it reported. No. Hey, John K. Knutson. K as in Knutson. Cool. So GE, I'm short, but I'm losing money. But look at that beautiful short if it happens. Oh, be so good. These are daily charts. You know, there's a lot of information inside. I can tell you now 101 should be difficult. If they can't recover 101, I think it gets to 94. Catherine, you came in late. I have 2 minutes. Maybe I can do BIDU for you. BIDU. So I don't want Chinese companies because I don't know the headlines there. BIDU has support through 109. Okay, then we'll do Square. You're welcome. We'll do Square. I will sell puts in Square if it falls. I could sell puts in Square in the 40s into the earnings, but I will go way out in time like I did before. So has a lot of support, but has headlines and has the lawsuit. Lawsuit. They're suing the other people who have the Hindenburg. So Square all by itself has a lot of support spread through 57.50. All right, folks. So we ended up with, where are they? All these stocks, a whole bunch. I'll count them. Ah, that's why. So we did BIDU and Square, right? BITO, GM, Tesla, BIDU, and Square. Meta. We did that, did we not? Yeah, we did it in the beginning. So the video will be available. You can scroll back through. I think the 5th or 6th stock in the beginning was Meta. The video will be available soon on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, by the way, if you don't. This way, and put the bell on. So if I go live, if we go live as a team, you'll see it. Yeah, I'll see you in the live room, Trey. Hey, Trey, I haven't seen you in a bit. Okay, folks, we're hanging up. I totally appreciate you. Thanks for the like. Love that. We keep building the momentum here. This is homework before the market opens. Bring friends next time. Seriously. All right, we're going to end the stream abruptly in 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye.